All right. Welcome back to another Elevated Marketing and Dad podcast. How are you today, Brenna?
I'm wonderful. It's Friday. It's my fiance's birthday. It's a great day.
Oh. All right. Well, let's talk about marketing. And we're going to talk about customer service today, right?
Yeah, it's important.
Yes, it is. Fun fact, both Brenna and I came from retail.
Yeah. Many moons ago, but we did.
Is the client always right?
Yes, ma'am.
Love it. Okay, so let's talk about like how customer service really is part of your marketing strategy and how to kind of involve your marketing team with your customer service because that's sometimes a whole different team, your front line who's directly talking with the clients and I think it's important because it reinforces your brand message. And some of you might say, well, I don't have a brand message. Well, you do.
hmm
That's what your clients say about you, and you're just not sure that you have one yet.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and it definitely goes back to what is the objective of your business, but overall, like, how do you want your business to be interpreted? Like, what sort of reputation do you want to have? And like you're saying with like customer service reps, like they really are kind of frontline for that. And so that also, I know I'm maybe jumping ahead a little bit, but thinking maybe through your core values as part of that messaging as well.
No, because that's what I was thinking of. I know recently we did a video shoot, and as I was recording everyone answering, questions to pull out their story, I was amazed at how well everybody kind of was saying something similar without saying the same thing. And I'm like, this is a highly trained team that understands what the brand is, and it's been reinforced a lot. And that's going to come through on their customer service because they do know what they're saying.
Yeah. And that's kind of like the ideal world too, where maybe a lot of those people really just are aligned with those core values too. And that's why they mesh so well with where they're employed, which again, when you're thinking about your customer service reps, you do want them to be aligned with your business core values and, the mission that you're trying to achieve there.
You hire and fire based on your core values.
Yeah.
Do they align? And not everybody's going to align.
Very true.
Your customer service really can help your word of mouth.
hmm
Uh, it is your best form of marketing when you have word of mouth, but you don't have word of mouth if people don't know that you exist. So, getting those positive experiences and collaborating with like your marketing team and adding it into your email with those reviews and your social media, like that's certainly going to help as well.
For sure. And I think part of that too, of getting that positive word of mouth, is those support interactions, because it is part of your customer's journey. And whether it's pre sale, during sale, or post sale, at some point along the line, they're likely going to interact with your support team or your customer service reps. And so being able to maybe keep track of all of that, though, too, is not only going to help provide a better customer experience, but on the flip side, it can help marketing. And then it just becomes a cycle.
And I think we've talked about this before, but if you're having a hard time getting reviews, then you might rethink your customer service here, or why are you not, or your product or your delivery. Like there's some reason if you don't have people like willing to. Now I know it's hard to get reviews at a point, but you have to like stop as a business and say, okay, well, why is it so hard for me to get these?
hmm And we've certainly helped some of our clients. Even now, we're going through some of that. And it's sometimes you just have to prompt your customers to leave that review. Maybe it's reaching out and asking them, hey, how did everything turn out for you? I would love to hear your feedback. Here's a link.
Yep.
Or maybe they're just emailing it, or maybe it's over the phone. But either way, collecting some sort of review, not only for marketing purposes, but overall for the customer experience now and in the future.
Yeah, and if you get a negative review, then I've seen some of our clients take it as an opportunity to be like, okay, well, let's like take a look at training and see like possibly how could we have solved this different, like
Mm-hmm.
learning opportunity, because you're not going to make like everybody happy.
Yeah, don't ignore those negative reviews. As scary as they might feel at the time, they will help you become better. And
I really like the idea with your service team to collaborate with marketing on your customer journey and really kind of explain like how people go through the buying process and where they might be at. Because sometimes if you're on the front line, like it might be like, well, my job's only to get them here. And when you understand the full picture, that can help you better understand how that should be. It can go on so many directions.
yeah, and I think too with that collaboration is, you know, we as marketers, we really like to pick and analyze different brand messaging strategies and ways to convey that message. And so if we're maybe teaming up with these service teams, then we can really help kind of get the point across of like, well, here's the brand messaging. Now, how can you tie that back to what you're doing day to day?
Yep, and you could create educational content based
Mhm.
on what you hear from the client or from the customer service team of like what their feedback is along that line, and how you can make it support that we do understand the journey that people go through.
Yep, for sure. Well, and I mean, we know this. It's again, we keep saying these service reps that are frontline, but they are kind of not in charge, but they have an influence on maybe your brand perception too. If you have a customer who has a really positive experience with your support team, that's still going to influence your perception. But if you have a negative and it's not solved, then that's also going to impact that.
It can also impact your retention and upsell of your clients. So we've talked about that on the show before.
Mhm.
How to get more out of existing clients with your marketing, and so understanding what they're hearing there can actually help you there as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I think part of that too, with I think maybe just more overall, like having a good customer experience. It definitely, as we know, everything starts at the beginning, but onboarding these customers as well. And onboarding maybe seems like a big term that isn't suitable for everyone, but it could be as simple as like a welcome email series. You know, from the first time they interact with you, if you're collecting an email, then you can kind of guide them down that welcome series, and that can be your onboarding per se.
I think it's a matter of how you use the term onboarding.
Yeah.
Um, like you might typically think of, I don't know, like I don't know how people might think about that, but I think about from the first time that I pick up the phone and talk with someone, like they're onboarding.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
yeah, they're making an impression, and that is important for you to understand all the way through. They need to know the process and how things go, and sometimes people are more process oriented than what they want to lead to. I know I'm super process oriented.
Yeah,
Not everybody is.
for sure.
You talked about too, like going back to email, like creating flows maybe with these long lifetime value customers and marketing exclusive content or offers, you
Mhm.
know, to those lifetime clients. That's great. Successfully, service moments and making flows based on that. That would be good as well.
Yeah, just adding more of that personal feel to it and really developing their customer experience to be personal to them because everyone's going to feel a little bit differently. They're going to be at a different step. And so if you can kind of nail down, well, who should be receiving these emails, who should be receiving these, it'll just feel all that more personalized.
Yeah. So I think the important takeaway here is that we've talked about sales and marketing being aligned, but customer service and marketing also needs to be aligned so that we can create the help with brand messaging, help with your word of mouth, your entire customer journey, like creating that support queue for testimonials and referrals, creating UGC campaigns. I mean, the list kind of goes on and on. Social media.
I think about too, I mean, marketing and service teaming up, but service can help marketing in a sense of, well, we might be asking you, like, hey, what are your most commonly asked questions? And then we can figure out a format to put that on. Maybe it's your website, maybe it is email marketing, but it's
Yeah.
kind of give and take, I feel like, when it comes to both marketing and service. It's just, that's a pretty dynamic duo, if you will.
It's a partnership, just like all of your marketing.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think we covered this topic pretty well. So, if you want to follow us, I'm Jennifer Denny. You can certainly follow us on LinkedIn. But elevatedmarketing.solutions is our website, and you can sign up for the newsletter there as well. All right. Take care. Bye.